Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to go through a full gear loadout for my upcoming backpacking trip. First thing I want to do though is get my tent set up because we made some modifications to it. That'll be discussed further detail in a different video. But to start, I do keep my tent on the outside of the pack that I have strapped down. So right here in this Cedar Summit Big River 8-liter dry bag. And how I do this, so in here I've got some cordage because of the modifications that I made, my tent stakes, in a Dyneema drawstring stuff sack I keep the tent body. So this is like the mesh inner, and then just kind of fold it up. I've got the outer, so the rain fly. I keep the body inside of its own bag so that when this is getting wet and I got to stuff this in packing up from camp, my inner tent is not going to get soaking wet. So be right back, stay tuned, we get this set up, and then we'll go through everything that I'm carrying, where I'm carrying it, why I'm carrying it, and some good juicy details like that. Here we go. Alright, as you see, we've got the tent set up. This is the Lanshin 2-person tent. It's a trekking pole tent, double wall, so you've got the inner and then you've got the fly. First thing I'm going to pull out though, so we can make this video a little bit more comfortable for me, is one of the most controversial backpacking items that people argue about whether you need it or not. I like it. I like to be comfortable, so that is my Helinox Chair Zero camp chair. So I do keep that in the side pocket. So I'm going to get this set up and we're going to go through the rest of the bag. Alright, so this is the Helinox Chair Zero. This thing weighs about a pound. It's very compact, very easy to set up. Right now I am keeping it in a 5-liter outdoor products dry bag. I will eventually be upgrading this in just kind of a light drizzle, not a big deal. But this fabric will end up retaining water, and so will this. So we'll upgrade this at a later date. So one thing that I did do, because these chair legs, when you sit down in the chair, they do have a tendency to sink into the ground. So I did buy this Helinox accessory that goes on so that it's more level, you're not going to sink into the ground. So that is the first gear item. Very comfortable, very lightweight. I like to be able to sit down at camp when I get there, as opposed to just bringing a little sit pad and essentially I'm still sitting on the ground. Not the most comfortable. I want to kind of lean back and relax. So that's that. And then I would normally keep, potentially another water bottle in here. So yeah. On this side of the pack, which is the back, I added these accessory straps to my Hyperlite mountain gear Southwest 4400. So this is a 70-liter backpack from Hyperlite mountain gear. I added these accessory straps that go on here so I could strap extra gear to this pouch if need be. Right now I am carrying a Cedar Summit 4-liter water cell, so I can fill this up with water and have an ample supply of water if water sources are a little bit scarce. On this particular trip where we're going, there is going to be plenty of water, but we are going to be spending kind of a significant time in camp. So I can just pack up some water when we get to a water source, and I'll have enough to cook and drink, while we're just kind of hanging around for a while at camp. Attached to this strap here, I do have my Cedar Be Free 3-liter water filter. because I am bringing the 4-liter water cell and 2 liters of water. I went with the 3-liter water filter as opposed to just bringing out the 1 liter, just to make things a little bit faster. Plus some of the areas, you know, there's going to be some trees. I can hang this thing, which will be pretty nice. Next up, another controversial item. I do have some camp shoes, so I just have some flip-flops. Again, with the water element on this particular trail that we're going on, there are several river crossings, so my Ultra Timp 2 trail runners are going to get pretty wet, and I don't want to be hanging around camp, walking around in wet shoes, sitting in wet shoes. So I want to be able to get these off, get them dried out, and be able to just walk around in a pair of flip-flops. The next thing I have in my bag is my poop kit. So in here I have the Vargo Dig tool. I have a few Sani wipes for my hands. And then I have the Cedar Summit Wilderness wipes that I keep in here as well. And this dry bag is a Hyperlite mountain gear drawstring stuff sack. I don't need anything too crazy, it's just a poop kit. But I had this bag, so I put it in here. Makes it a little easier. Next up, I do have my first aid kit in here. So I bought this Adventure medical kit, which, you know, on the back it tells you everything that comes in it. I've added stuff into here, kind of put my own things in here. You know, different types of medications, diarrhea medication, burn cream, ibuprofen, you know, things like that. So this is kind of filled with a bunch of different things. I'll go through this in a different video. This will be totally separate, but I keep my first aid kit. And then in this Cedar Summit lightweight 2-liter little dry bag, I keep my rain jacket. This folds up pretty small, very compact. It's really nice. Super lightweight. So in here I have my Rab raincoat. This thing is awesome. And that's that. I mean, this thing's pretty stretchy on this Hyperlite bag, so you know there's definitely things that you can stuff in here. That's what I stuck on that side. On the other side, I have a 1-liter water bottle. I just came from a little 5-mile hike today, so everything's still kind of packed up from that. And then I have, because I do film. So in this Cedar Summit, I believe this is a 13-liter, this is a lightweight 13-liter dry bag by Cedar Summit. So inside of here, I typically keep my monopod. So I have a newer monopod, and then the tripod, which is also the same brand that you guys are sitting on right now. So I keep all of that in here just to, you know, kind of protect it from the elements a little bit. You know, eventually we'll upgrade this. Starting to get little tears in it because I've had this for quite some time now. So, and that's it. And again, you know, 1-liter water bottle. That's what I keep there. So going across my chest on the sternum strap, I have this REI little sternum bag, or you can use it as like a hip bag, you know, kind of a mini little fanny pack. I use it as my my chest pack, and you know, I'll keep my ID in here. I keep a mask because of COVID. Some places are still asking for that. I do keep kind of my wallet. I do have a safety whistle in here, things like that. So anything I just kind of need to get some quick access to that I don't want to have to dig in my bag if I'm stopping at a store to do like a little resupply thing, whatever it may be, just easy access. And keep a granola bar in here, you know, whatever. On the left shoulder strap, I have the Hyperlite Mountain Gear shoulder pocket. So this holds one of my Anchor battery chargers, and then holds my phone. On the right shoulder strap, I just picked up the Hyperlite Mountain Gear water bottle pocket. A little awkward for a 1 liter bottle. I thought it was going to really get in the way. I didn't like it when I was walking around the house. But doing a little 5-mile hike today, honestly, I didn't notice that I have this giant water bottle just kind of hanging off me. But it is more recommended, in my opinion, to use the smaller, like 750 milliliter water bottles. But it worked out just fine. It's just an awkward kind of hang on it. Underneath, I've got my Cedar Summit Ultra Mesh mosquito head net on that side, and then on this side I've got my little REI little towel, kind of wipe the sweat away. I do typically hang also like a bandana off my shoulder strap too, just again something easy access, you know, to wipe sweat or you know whatever. Inside of the hip belt pockets and on this bag, they're pretty big, so you definitely, you know, stack some stuff in here. So like a headband, you know, I would keep in here. I do have my hiking gloves that I wear. So these are just from a company that I own that we made these. And then I keep my sun sleeves to block out, you know, any sun. I got burnt up a little bit in California not wearing these. So I keep that in one pocket, and then in the other pocket I do keep my headlamp, which I have inside of this little tiny drawstring Dyneema Hyperlite Mountain Gear little stuff sack. I'll keep a couple snacks in this pocket, granola bars, liquid IV, Element, electrolyte powder. So I bring both of these with. Both are extremely beneficial. They both do different things. The liquid IV is going to be a little bit more heavy on like vitamins, where the Element is going to be heavier on the sodium. So it does have kind of this saltwater taste to it. It takes a little getting used to. But because both offer kind of different varieties of what's needed when it comes to getting those electrolytes back and staying very hydrated, I do carry both brands. So that's what's in that pocket. All right, and then now if we move to the inside of the bag, so again, with the Hyperlite Southwest bag, this is a roll top backpack. So it's got a nice long Velcro strip to keep everything kind of cinched down in there real nice, and then you roll it down to really keep the water out. This is fully made of Dyneema, so it is relatively waterproof. But I still use dry bags and a pack liner inside of here. I would definitely recommend that. I don't count any bag ever being 100% fully waterproof. So on the very top, the first thing I'll pull out is 3-liter Cedar Summit Big River dry bags. So these Big River ones are a little bit more durable. This is geared towards more like water-related sports like kayaking, things like that. So again, because we're going to be doing a bunch of river crossings, I kind of upgraded some of these bags to bags that are geared more towards water-related elements that are going to be out there. So in here, an item that I just recently picked up from REI. Got a nice little deal on this because they're discontinuing this one. And purchasing things from REI, you pack up these, or you rack up these you know, REI points. So this jacket was normally $100. It was discounted down to $73. And with my REI points, I got it for 53 bucks. So this is my REI down jacket. This is a 650 fill power on this. Not my favorite color, but it's not a fashion show out there. So I keep this inside of this dry bag. So, you know, if I'm getting a little cold, it's not something I'm, you know, gonna need on, you know, a constant basis. That's up top. I keep my cook pot. So this is a Toaks titanium 750 milliliter cook pot. I use this as my coffee mug. I can cook inside of here if need be. On the inside, I've got one of these Talenti ice cream containers, and inside of here, just again to keep things, you know, more dry. This is adding like 1.8 ounces to my weight, but I kind of want to be safer than sorry. So inside of here, I've got a, I believe this is a GSI Outdoors kind of dishcloth. I keep these hot lips, which go on the outside of my titanium pot here, because again, I use this for drinking hot liquids. So this goes on there so you're not burning your lips. And then the last item in here, I have my MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe stove. So I use this to cook. So if you guys remember from previous videos on the Lifeline channel, we started off with the Coleman brand from Walmart. That worked out fine. Then I upgraded to a BRS stove, and now I've upgraded to this Pocket Rocket Deluxe. So very lightweight. It's really cool because you can adjust, you know, the flame and everything, so you can simmer foods, and so super stoked about this. This is a new item. I picked this up when I was in Topanga, California. Stopped at an REI out there, which that REI out in Topanga area is super nice. So yeah, and everything just fits in here. It keeps everything sealed, so water's not getting in here. I did, you know, on my excursion of the Ice Age Trail here in Wisconsin, my Coleman stove got soaked and I could not use it until it dried out completely. And that made for a very hungry day. Next on my list, right at the very top, so this is my Diddy Bag. So again, I've got it in a Hyperlite Mountain Gear drawstring stuff sack. In here, I'm not going to pull everything out because there's a bunch of stuff in here. My Diddies are a little bit more than probably most. So I do keep some hot hands in here, depending on the time of year that I go out. So I'm going out in September and in October. This is going to be the same gear that I bring on my Mammoth Challenge in October. So I keep a couple of hot hands, you know, for when my hands get cold. I keep some shock cord, which we have shock cord on the tent now, one of the mods that I did. And then the guy line, I took all the strings off the tent and put my own guy line on there, so they're a bit more bright, more reflective. So I keep some of that in there. I have some Zing It in here. There's some patch repair stuff for like the tent or like my mattress. I do keep some toiletry things in here, lotion, contact solution, things like that, chapstick, some Leuco tape. So this is just kind of my ditties. It's not something that I'll need to go in every single day. Again, it's a little bit more than most people are going to carry, you know, for all their little ditties. So that's that. The next thing I have in here is my food bag. So this particular food bag is by Granite Gear. This is a 16-liter food bag. I got this off Amazon. This is made of Cordura, so not super waterproof, but it, you know, it'll repel a little bit of water. You know, if it's a torrential downpour, like this thing's definitely getting soaked. So if you have certain types of foods in here and different like packaging, you may want to, you know, keep that a little bit drier. So inside of my food, and I'll go through this a bit more in detail, probably in a separate video of what food I'm bringing. But basically inside of my food bag, we're doing a 4-day trip. So I've got some backpacker pantry meals. I've got some peak refuel meals, some electrolyte powders. I do have my Cedar Summit titanium spoon, long handle spoon, my Hyperlite Mountain Gear repack. So this is like a insulated little pouch, and what I'll do to save space and a little bit of weight, I'll take the food out of the packaging and I'll put it in Ziploc bags, boil my water, pour that in, and then put it inside of the repack so that it hydrates very nicely. So then this bag will not be as bulky as it is and kind of push this pack down a little bit more, and save a little bit of weight. It's not a ton of weight, but it, you know, cutting down on that stuff will definitely help. So inside of here, just for packing reasons, I have my Cedar Summit collapsible tea kettle. So that's in here. It's very small, very lightweight, compact. This little thing came from a Toaks titanium plate that I bought. I'm not bringing that this trip because we're doing all freeze-dried meals. We're not doing any kind of fresh foods like some of you guys might be used to watching on this channel. So I keep that in here just to, you know, keep it a little safer. I do bring a knife. This knife I specifically only use for cooking stuff. If I'm chopping up food and there's a little snack that I'm going to bring, some summer sausage, things like that. So that's the only thing I use this particular knife for. And then I have my MSR canister stand for my my little gas canister. So I keep that right in here. Super compact. It all just kind of fits in there nice, whatever. I do have, so like this, you know, I'll take stuff where I'll put it in little Ziploc bags to keep it organized for me. I do have coffee and creamer and sugar that's in another bag. I do have in, again, this little Hyperlite Mountain Gear stuff sack. This is my bear kit. So I've got a bunch of like Zing It style rope that's in here, and you know, tied to a hammock gear carabiner. So I'll take the rope out, put some rocks in here, throw it over a tree, and then be able to raise my food bag up, because there are going to be some bears, there's going to be some mountain lions that potentially are in the area, so definitely want to be safe. Also don't want critters crawling through my stuff and trying to chew through my tent or my backpack trying to get into the food. The other thing is, once I kind of compress all this stuff down, I have an op sack. So this is a odor-proof Ziploc bag. So you can buy these from, you know, OpSack, or you can get these right off of Amazon. You get 2 of them. They're like 15 bucks. So I'll put my food in here and kind of help with that smell. But again, I'll go through what food I'm actually bringing in a separate video. So that's my food bag. This Granite Gear food bag, like, I don't know, I'm actually really impressed with this thing. I was a little nervous. I was originally going to buy like a Dyneema bag that's, you know, specifically made as like a food bag. But I saw on a YouTube channel, Kelly Hayes Hikes. Definitely recommend her channel. She's got an awesome channel. She uses this one. So I gave it a shot, and it was like $25 cheaper than buying a Dyneema bag. And so far, it's held up. I've put a ton of weight in here, and nothing's ripped. It's worked out pretty good so far. So pretty happy with this. So thank you, Kelly. Next up, closer to my back, just because this is a heavier item. So in here, again, this is a Cedar Summit. This is a 5-liter Big River dry bag. So I have my electronics in here. So I have my microphone case, which the mic is attached to where you guys are. I do have a lavalier microphone as well that I keep in here. Portable battery chargers, my cords, all of that stuff. So I keep that in here because this is a little weighty. I keep that closer to my back and kind of like the center of my back. So as opposed to putting it on this side of the backpack, you know, closer to this outside, which, you know, can force you to start kind of tipping over. So I keep those heavier items kind of centered to my back and closer to my back. So that's what's in here. The next item, and this is kind of on this outer part of that inside of the backpack. So right now I've got this in a Hyperlite Mountain Gear drawstring stuff sack. I'll probably swap this out for a different dry bag, but it's what I have. So for right now, this is what it's going to be. So in here I've got my Cedar Summit Etherlite XT sleeping pad. I've got my flex tail gear pump. So this is a rechargeable pump to blow up my pad and my sleeping pillow. Pretty lightweight, pretty inexpensive. You can find these on Amazon. I've got this in a hammock gear little Dyneema stuff sack. I had this because I purchased some stuff from Hammock Gear, and I had this one. It fit perfect for the flex tail. I wanted to protect this. My little tent light. I don't know the brand on this, but picked this up off Amazon. This was actually a pretty killer find, and with this particular tent, there's a little clip, so I can just hang that in there. So this is kind of part of my sleep system, so I keep that all in one thing. I've got the Cedar Summit Arrows pillow down regular size, folds up. It's super compact, right in the palm of your hand. So I just picked this up. If you guys remember, I use the Outdoor Vitals pillow, which I love. I did sleep on this one night already. I'm almost partial to the Cedar Summit, or to the Outdoor Vitals one. But I chose the down top just because we are going into fall months. It is a little bit colder, and that Outdoor Vitals one, it can get a little chilly, and you're putting your head on a cold surface. So this is a new piece of gear that we're definitely going to try out for this fall season. So yeah, and the sleeping pad is something new. So, a lot of you guys are used to me being in the hammock. We're doing something totally different for these next two trips. We got one coming up in September here, and then we've got the Mammoth Challenge again on the Ice Age Trail in October. So I'm bringing a tent this time, sleeping pad, but some familiar items from the hammock. My hang time hook. So one thing I did with the two hooks that are in there, I've made my own little ridge line, so I can still use my hang time hook to put my phone on. And then this little hammock gear sling, you know, that would normally sit on my continuous ridge line. So I can set this in there, just kind of put some lightweight items in there, you know, hat, snacks, whatever, water bottle, same type of things I would put on the hammock. So a couple of hammock items that we're bringing with. The next item that's in here, so this is a 1/8 inch foam pad. So this will go underneath my sleeping pad. This helps, you know, to add a little bit more R value, a little bit more of that warmth. So the pad is not directly, you know, kind of touching the floor of the tent, which is directly on the ground. So this helps with a little R value. We are going to be up in the mountains on this next trip, and it's a snowy mountain, so trying to stay a little bit warmer. So I want to say I got this from like Mountain Laurel Designs, because Gossamer Gear is always out of this thing. So I think that's where I picked it up. So yeah, this works out pretty nice. The next item, so in here, this is actually my Hyperlite Mountain Gear pack liner. So this is the 4400, which is geared specifically for this bag. So this thing, you know, actually gets pretty tall. In here, and I'm not going to take this out because you guys have already seen it, but in here I have my Outdoor Vitals 0 degree down airy under quilt / sleeping bag. So I've used this in the hammock. This works out pretty nice. I love this sleeping bag. And then I have these like little pack straps just to kind of compress this down a little bit more. So these are also from Cedar Summit. These are like, I think they're called Accessory Straps. So I have 2 of those. I bought these in California when I bought my Arbor skateboard, and I used this to attach it to my day Hyperlite bag when I was boarding the airplane with the skateboard. So that's this. And then at the very bottom, because it's one of the last things I need, it's not that big of a deal. So this is the Hyperlite Mountain Gear 4400, again made for this size bag. 4400 is their large pod system. These things are awesome. I've used this as a food bag. I've used this as my pod system, you know, to put everything for my hammock in here, which fits perfectly. And I've used this as a clothing bag. So in here are my clothes. Now, the clothes that I have on is what I'm going to be hiking in for this particular trip. And then I've got some backup clothes, because again, there's going to be tons and tons of water crossings. So I did pack a little bit extra clothes in case, you know, I fall in and get wet. So this particular trip, I'm bringing 2 shirts, 2 underwear, 2 socks, which will be my Darn Tough socks, and then I have a thermal bottom, a thermal top, and then I'm bringing a pair of kind of heavier Injinji socks, and that's going to be my sleeping clothes. And then I have a hoodie in here as well. So I think that's it. That's in here. And that's it. That's the bag. With the camera gear, water, food, and all the gear that we have, it all fits in here, you know, very, very nice. If we minus the food and the water and the camera gear, I'm looking at probably a 21, 22 pound base weight. The camera gear fluctuates between 7 and 8 pounds depending on what I'm bringing, so I think this trip we're almost at 8 pounds. Food, we're probably looking at around 7 pounds inside of the food bag, and then 2 liters of water, so you know it's going to be another 2 pounds. So we're looking at like 39 pounds total with everything that I'm going to be carrying on my back. which is significantly lighter than what I normally have on my back. So so far this system works out pretty good. I will do some individual videos on the Cedar Summit products that I have, the Hyperlite products that I have. Forewarning, I am sponsored by both those companies, so I am going to be particular to Hyperlite for sure, as well as, you know, my Cedar Summit gear. But yeah, so we'll kind of go through, because there's tons and tons of new gear. Obviously you saw the down jacket, the raincoat, the tent, the sleeping pad. Like, there's tons of new gear that I'm utilizing for these upcoming 2 trips in September and October. So there's tons to talk about, tons to review, tons to test out some of this gear I haven't used yet, and we're going to be testing it out, you know, for the first time. So yeah, so that's my gear loadout for this upcoming trip. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be epic, really exciting. I can't wait. I'll see you guys on another episode of Lifeline. Alright, so you can see exactly how I'm packing this. So the shape of the bottom of this Hyperlite bag matches perfectly with the pod system. So my clothes will go down there. I don't need to access this throughout the day. This will be something last that I take out of my pack when I'm inside the tent, getting into my, you know, sleeping clothes and changing in the morning. The next thing I put in is my sleeping bag. So that'll fit in there really, really nicely. And again, I put this foam pad down in here. The electronics bag, again, because it's heavier, I want to keep this closer to my back. So that's going to go in here. Sleep system, so sleeping pad and all of that, that's going to go next. That's lighter, so that can go towards the outer part of the bag. And then we have the food bag that'll go in here. Now again, this will actually be more compact once I kind of take all the food out and all of that. My Diddy bag, so again, this is a little bit heavier. This is going to go closer towards my back. This is my down jacket. And then my cook pot. The Velcro. And then that just folds down. And that's that.